So with the announcement of Pokemon Legends Arceus, something interesting sort of struck my mind, as well as a lot of other people's as well. But this game feels like a sort of test for a potential future of more Legends-based games. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, sit back, relax, and let me explain. So personally, I think that Pokemon Legends Arceus being a singular game rather than a game sold in two different pieces like most Pokemon games is because of it being a testing ground for new ideas for Game Freak, in that the reason the game is called Pokemon Legends has to do with there being multiple Pokemon Legends that they will tell us about and show us in the future. So let's talk about all those possibilities. See, the first thing that can be noticed is something from the trailer where we see three books stacked on each other. The first one being the one about the Sinnoh region, with the ones underneath it being possibly other tales and legends about the past of Pokemon regions and places that we will see and explore in future games perhaps. See, these games are the future for Pokemon, and with Pokemon Legends, they need to test the waters and see what things we as consumers like and what we don't like. And once they know that, I think we can expect them to be more inclined to make more Pokemon Legends games in between other projects like the mainline new generation games and of course also the remake games. A good comparison with this game is something like Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. See, what Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee were was a test for Game Freak to see how people felt about the games and their style, and with the response being quite a lot of negativity but also good sales and overall a satisfied audience, they decided to use partial features and styles from Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee inside of Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Pokemon Shining Pearl, the remake games, which can be heavily seen in the battles of the games, which look identical to the battles of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. So what I'm trying to say is that this Pokemon Legends game could be the same thing going on here. They're trying the same thing to either be testing ground for an open world game for the mainline next generation, or perhaps just a testing ground for a new series in Pokemon under the name of Pokemon Legends. So I guess the next most logical thing to do is to basically explore the possible games they could make with the Pokemon Legends as its own separate series. Now, of course, what I'm saying here is there are two options. One, they learn from Pokemon Legends Arceus and then use those things from Pokemon Legends Arceus and create the next generation games, and maybe we'll never see another Legends games. Or if it's successful enough, they may start doing other Legends games within that kind of like umbrella of Pokemon Legends. Like for example, the Let's Go series has kind of been seemingly dropped, but the style of the Let's Go series is going to live on with seemingly the remakes if these do really well. You know, the Diamond and Pearl remakes with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Whereas with Pokemon Legends, I think we're dealing with a somewhat more different situation. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I think we're dealing with a situation where they're going to either utilize the design of this game in the next generation games and going forward, or they're going to create like a totally separate series, which is Pokemon Legends, and that is a separate series, and they're going to explore other games, other legendaries, and other things with that different series. And I think in this case, there are a lot of possibilities, a lot of Pokemon Legends, literal legends, legendary Pokemon they can do this for, and a lot of regions they can utilize. Like, this is a good thing because I have heard the word premake mentioned. And let's be honest, if they do this, it's an easy way for them to keep a lot of things alive for a lot longer without having to push out new generations non-stop. Like, this could be the way to kind of delay, time between new generations and keep people busy as a way to keep the franchise going for much longer without burning out and getting to like generation 20 by the year 2030 or something, right? What I'm trying to say basically is that this game is a good buffered. Also, what this game allows them to do is something very important that nobody is mentioning. But what this game allows is for them to use features, add in Pokemon, and things that they never have to bring back. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, basically, if they introduce a Pokemon in this game, like Pokemon Legends Arceus, that's a sort of ancient Pokemon, well, guess what? They will never need to revisit that Pokemon ever again. That Pokemon can be left in the past, right? Or like an original form of a Pokemon. Like, let's say we have an Arcanine that's an ice type, right? They can just use the argument, well, they don't live anymore. Those Arcanines don't exist in the Sinnoh region anymore if they ever bring another Sinnoh remake in the future. But you kind of just get the general gist of what I'm saying, right? Basically, this absolves them of any sort of, reason to bring a lot of these things back in other games, so they can add in new forms, new Pokemon even, without having to bring them back in other games, or even count them in like a national dex or any sort of sense of the word, like anything like that. They don't need to count it in that same kind of era and same like thing, so they can separate those. But let's now talk about some of those possible series they can do. You know, what are some of the possible games they could explore with this? Well, before we do that, we do have a message from today's sponsor real quick.
I should shave. This thing is nasty, man. All my hairs. Oh, God. Oh, Adu! Bring me that quality shit! That's what I'm talking about. This video is brought to you by Manscaped.
Manscaped?
Yes, did you know, Adu, they have currently a all-in-one performance package kit.
I did not. Do they?
They do! It is crazy! I'm mostly excited for their 3.0 lawnmower. I mean, this thing is fantastic. I mean, look at that. Ooh, it vibrates. Ooh,
vibrates?
Ooh, yeah, dude. It can do a madness on your frontal hair. But that's not all. Let's not forget the ball deodorant, the ball preserver. Yes, to preserve all them balls.
Yeah.
And also, of course, the crop reviver. Yes.
Crop reviver?
Yes, to revive your balls. But that's not all. We also have the weed whacker for your nose and hair trims, because, you know, sometimes inside of there, it can get, ooh, that feels nice. Ooh.
Suka, it is nice.
It's very nice.
Oh, very nice.
Very nice. But do you really think that is it? Of course not. They also have the Shears 2.0.
The Shear 2.0?
Yes, the Shears 2.0.
Suka.
Yes, for your toes, your nails, and everything in between. But for a limited time offer, we also have 2 free gifts.
2 free gifts?
Yes,
Suka.
2 free gifts. Of course, this comes in the Shed travel bag, and of course, the Manscaped anti-chafing boxers.
Anti-chafing?
Anti-chafing, and of course, we can't forget the lovely bag.
The lovely bag.
The lovely bag.
The lovely bag.
So, to get your own box, go to manscaped.com and get 20% off and free international shipping, and of course, the 2 free gifts when you use the promo code on the screen.
2 free gifts.
2 free gifts on manscaped.com.
So, what are some of the other possible legends we could expect if this one is real? Well, the first one and most obvious one would be a sort of remake or premake called Pokemon Legends Ho-Oh and Pokemon Legends Lugia. Now, these would be basically the same games, but with the story only altered slightly between the games to fit a different legendary. So, basically, whatever they're featuring on their cover. And I'm talking about the individual games here, Pokemon Legends Ho-Oh and Pokemon Legends Lugia being separate games, but basically, you know, the same games, the same way most of Pokemon games are like that, you know, Pokemon Sword and Shield. And like I mentioned before, the reason I think they're not doing this right now with Pokemon Legends Arceus and not calling it 2 separate things is 2 reasons. One, because they're already doing the remakes, so having basically essentially 4 games released would be a little bit complicated for people to know what they're going to purchase. If one game is called Pokemon Legends like Zygarde and Palkia, it just wouldn't make a lot of sense. That's one of the reasons. The second reason as to why they might not be, you know, doing that and only doing a singular game is because, again, this is a test game. This game is to test out and see how people feel about this, and by the time they do the next game, which possibly could be Pokemon Legends Ho-Oh and Pokemon Legends Lugia, they will kind of do this a little bit better. And I think this is a highly possible game due to both of these Pokemon being from a region that is heavily connected to the Sinnoh region, that being Johto, but also that the Japanese Pokemon region of Johto itself, like, you know, Johto in itself is based on Japan heavily. It offers a lot in terms of the history there, with like the Burn Tower being possible to like maybe visit before it was burnt down, perhaps even a visit to all the other regions, and hints towards like an early version, like, you know, early version of Kanto, for example, as existing across the other side of the mountains. You know, something like that would make a lot of sense. So a Pokemon Legends Ho-Oh and Lugia would be one of the most logical things for them to do. Another possible game would be Pokemon Zygarde or Legends Zygarde, as a way to give us more information about this often forgotten and cast aside legendary, which definitely deserves some exploring. And hey, while we're at it, why not also visit a version of Kalos that is warring against the Galar, you know, region, similar to how the English and French fought each other, you know, centuries, like 4 centuries rather, and also centuries ago, literally fought each other non-stop. So why not have some sort of conflict between Kalos and Galar? Because we know for a fact that Pokemon Wars are a thing and have happened happened in the past, and we're going back in time to those times, so why not explore this possibility as well? So in my humble opinion and conclusion, I just want to say that it feels pretty obvious what the direction and plans are when it comes to the mainline Pokemon games. It seems like the mainline games will continue in the style of Pokemon Sword and Shield, but they will utilize and learn from whatever they can, you know, kind of discern from Pokemon Legends Arceus. Like, whatever people enjoy about those games, they'll probably try to implement that, you know, in a different manner, but try to improve upon it whenever we get the next generation, which should be what, generation 9, right? So whenever they do Gen 9 and generation 10, just expect them to improve and improve and improve and get better and better as time goes on, because they'll learn step by step. They'll learn and they'll improve as we go forward, and that's what I want to say. Now we just have to wait and see how things pan out and what Game Freak decides to do after they see the results of their hard work and labor of Pokemon Legends Arceus. So that's that.